Screen is filthy. Where'd all the dirt come from? All right.
It's been a long day.
Is everybody watching? Finally figured it out.
Good.
I need a beer. Crispy beer. All right, everybody, come on over. Anybody there? Yay! Hi, Christy. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Joel. Okay. Come on closer. I promise. How about up here?
What do you want for Christmas?
Hello, boy. Can everybody hear me all right? Cheap seats in the back. Hi.
Hey.
This is Allison, the volunteer coordinator.
Hello.
Yay. She loves being the center of attention. Okay, I'll try and get to any questions that are on the YouTube thing at the end, but for now, I'll just do my live jibber jabber. So give me 15 minutes. I'll try and blow through it. First and foremost, like I always say, beginning of every volunteer meeting, thank you for being here, and you guys are the most important part of this race, okay? Don't tell the runners, but they're second. All right? You guys are the true heroes, the true rock stars. You are the whole reason that I do this, and I love volunteering at races. Absolute favorite thing. I'd rather talk to you guys than the runners because they smell bad. So thank you for being here. You're wonderful, wonderful people, and don't let any of the runners tell you differently. Weather this year, we got to go over that. The weather is going to be not awesome. It could be worse, so look at it that way. It's going to be super windy tonight, it's supposed to be, and then die down overnight, and it's going to be breezy tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, if you're working an overnight shift, you better be ready for it. It's supposed to get down with a little bit of a breeze. We're supposed to get wind chills down in the 20s. So I am going to be here all night as usual in the park. What's that? Yes, that's down here.
Yeah, so. Oh, come on. You know
You're supposed to be listening, Mike.
make one here. Yeah.
So I'm going to have my ski pants, my ski coat, my ski gloves. I'm going to have a fire. I'm going to have all this stuff to keep warm. I got dog blankets. I got old nasty sleeping bags from Boy Scouts. I got all kinds of stuff. That's not only for me and the volunteers first and foremost, because an unhappy volunteer means an unhappy runner, but also for the runners too. They paid for this, so they can go ahead and freeze their asses off. But I want you guys to take care of yourselves, and for God's sake, be ready. If it's really blowing and windy, especially on like McBee or Chandler, you probably don't want an open fire pit because, fires. So
wood fires, we're on propane.
That's fine. Yeah. If you can figure out a way to set up a tent that won't blow away, that's
Good
one of my
idea.
topics to talk about. These are really nice.
I just got introduced to these. This is pretty amazing for a easy up. I never had thought about this before.
Yeah, get a cordless drill, cordless hammer drill, regular drill, and drill that thing into the ground so about that much of it's sticking out. And then ratchet strap your pop-up down. You can just get these at Home Depot for like $1.25 a piece. It's the biggest one I could find, and it ain't going anywhere. If it gets really windy and really violent, it starts to tear apart the pop-up, please take it down.
Yes.
They're not disposable. But take care of yourself. It's not supposed to rain, knock on wood. So you probably don't need it. And it's supposed to be cloudy too. So you're not going to have a lot of sun. You're not going to have any rain. So if you don't have to put the pop-up up, don't bother. It's more important you just stay warm and take care of yourself. If you do put the pop-up up and you want to put like a tarp or something, you can do that. But make sure you got that thing tied down because the wind will take it to Pasco. So bring blankets and chairs. We have a couple chairs that we've supplied at each aid station. The runners will probably be needing them when they come through and they're complaining and stuff. But you're going to need like some downtime. Again, try and stay up, stay moving. That's what I do. Bring music, bring something fun to do. So during the downtime, when you're not preparing food and getting ready that you can keep busy and stay warm and make the time pass. Space heaters, we've got little buddy space heaters that we put out with each of those guys. They work as long as the air is not moving. So if you can create, like I said, some kind of windbreak and go ahead and sit that like right between your legs. Try and stay warm. Okay, water bottle etiquette. Everybody's used to this from the past few years. The last 3 years, we've done the same thing. The runners aren't supposed to touch anything, and they've been told that. So when they get to the aid station, they're supposed to take the top off their bottle or hold out their pack, and you guys fill it. We don't want them touching anything. Most of the food that you've got is single portion serving in packages and stuff. There's some that isn't. So if you've got like a big bag of M&Ms or something, we try to put portion cups in your aid station gear so you can put, in portion cups and just hand those to the runners. Don't put a big bowl of M&Ms out and have the runner come up and stick his hand in there, because they used to do that, and even before COVID, that was gross. Because I've been trail running for 15 years, and I've seen what happens out there. So you don't want those hands touching your food or anybody else's or even their food. Yeah. So we want single serving portions. Have a garbage can, a garbage sack, or something like that out so that they can get rid of their wrappers. When a runner comes in, ask them, especially in the middle of the night, if they've been out there for a long time, past the 50-mile mark, say, "Where's your garbage?" I remember an aid station volunteer asking me that when I got to like mile 30 in a 100-miler. They said, "Where's your garbage?" I'm like, "What do you care?" And what he was doing is he was trying to see if I'd been eating. And I pulled out like one little thing, one little wrapper. And he's like, "You need to eat more." And he sat me down. I didn't think I was hungry, and I started eating more. And after that, I left. I felt great. I was like, "Well, shit, he was right." So do those. Engage with the runner. Ask them how they're doing. If they say, "Nothing sounds good. I'm not hungry," that means they've already started to go south. Their gut has already started to revolt. They're in denial. There's a few very fast runners that can blow through the whole course with just a couple gels and a banana, and no kidding, they can go 100 miles on that. The rest of us, the other 90% of us, we want sandwiches and quesadillas, and if we're saying we're not hungry, then that means that unless we came in like holding like 2 sandwiches and eating them, if the runner comes in and says they're not hungry, that means they need to eat. That means their gut is starting to go south. Try and push the liquids on them, push the soup on them, all that stuff. For those of you that do have soup this year, you have broth. We haven't done that in the past, and a couple people pointed it out, and I stupidly didn't think about it until this year. So if you've got chicken noodle soup, you have lots of just plain chicken broth, because sometimes that's all the runner needs is just broth. They don't want noodles or anything solid. If they've been barfing, if they say nothing sounds good, start with chicken broth every time. You've got probably as much chicken broth as you do soup.
What if they say they're vegetarian?
We've got veggie soup, we got vegan soup, and we have vegetable broth. Okay, not a lot of it. So unless they say they're veggie, keep the veggie broth for them. But push the chicken broth. There's approximately enough to fill a kiddie swimming pool. Not that you'd want to, but then they put their hands in it or something. I don't know. Gross. So
Powdered mashed potatoes again.
I didn't do those. Where are you at again? What's it say?
He's at McBee.
You're McBee?
Yeah, they went nuts for that last
They
year.
were great.
Like instant mashed potatoes?
So it was in the Campbell's chicken noodle soup liquid.
Those.
Okay.
Throw the noodles away and put in scoops of the mashed potatoes.
Can you pick some up?
I can. I'll do it tomorrow.
You can?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll take it out there.
Yeah. The big box, I forgot. I totally spaced
Yeah,
it.
we
I'm
went through
sorry.
a lot of it.
Yeah.
One person came in and asked for it, and then we started pushing it, and everybody.
Yeah.
Those are great because it's bland and it fills up your tummy. And
Yep.
I thank you for But if you could, do a couple boxes of those.
Do you want me to?
Do you just need hot water with them? Is that it? Or-
No, we were using the Campbell's soup liquid.
Yeah, you got
I
broth.
can't call that broth, but
Right.
that
Yeah.
stuff, that yellow glue.
Salty
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
The glue.
Speaking of, I had mashed potatoes during 100 milers, and it's amazing. It fills your gut, and it doesn't. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Right, there's no sloshy slosh. Wow, I was gonna say. Oh, Campbell's soup. In case you don't know or didn't grow up on it, like some of us did, Campbell's soup. You're supposed to mix it with water. Some people don't know that. If you read the can, it says mix with 1 can of water. You might even want to add a little bit more water than that to dilute it a little bit because it can be mighty salty. One year there was a well-intentioned volunteer that was giving out Campbell's soup full strength, not diluted. You know, the runners were
The good stuff.
can I have a quart of water now to wash this down. So make sure you dilute it. And speaking of the goo Roctane stuff that you put in the coolers, the electrolyte drink, it says to mix it at a certain ratio on the can. Mix it weaker than that because they want to sell you more. Mix it like 2/3 strength, not full strength. It'll last longer. It'll be more palatable because when it gets that syrupy, sticky, sweet, people won't want to drink it. Okay. Vaseline. If they need Vaseline, it's in the first aid kits. If you think you're missing something and you feel like you need to call for help, stop and think for a second. Have I gone through the bin to look to see if I really got it or not? Because yes.
How do I pass it? If somebody asks for Vaseline and then people want all of them sticking their fingers? How do you pass it?
You got plastic silverware. You can give them like a spoon of it and see if they eat it.
Gross.
They're really delirious.
Bring some craft sticks out.
Tastes like
Yeah,
a
no kidding.
You could use a portion cup. You could use anything. Yeah,
Spoon sounds wonderful.
a spoon or a knife.
Maybe
or
a
something
spoon
like that.
into a portion cup, and then they can do what they
They can go
must.
do what they want with it. Yeah, there's rubber gloves in there too. Yes, there's baggies. Yeah, sandwich baggie too would work. Yeah, and turn it inside out. And take it with them and eat it on the way. We had 2 different kinds of cups, and this sounds funny. We have cold cups and hot cups. The cold cups are obviously for cold stuff, water, electrolyte drink, pop. There's soda pop too. We have hot cups for soup and coffee and cocoa, and if you just want hot water or mashed potatoes, you can mix it up in the paper cup. Make sure you're using the right kind of cup for the right purpose, because if you blow through all your hot cups, giving out pop and water, then when you go to put soup or coffee in a cold cup, the wax will melt and it'll be really gross. So make sure you're using the correct cups for the correct job. Everybody's got a clipboard, and the clipboard,
Every aid station.
every aid
Not
station,
everybody.
yes, we bought 100 clipboards. Every aid station's got a clipboard with a menu on it, and you're going to want to put the menu where everybody can see it so they know. And also, that's a nice visual clue on what you've got in your ice chests and bins that you're supposed to be cooking. So you can tape it down, you can do whatever you want with it. It doesn't have to stay on the clipboard, obviously, because the most important part is the runner roster. That's for checking people in and out as they come and go. This is so that if anybody gets lost, we can make sure that they are accounted for. It's by bib number and also by distance. So the 100 milers are first. And as you scroll down, you get to the 50 milers. There's the 50 milers. And it's set up to keep track of each time they come to the aid station. So some aid stations will see the 100 milers 4 times. Some of them will see them 2 times. So you have the appropriate box to put down. You don't even have to put their time. Just check off that they came through. It's good to designate one person to do this and make that their sole job if you have enough people. If you have enough people, have someone sitting there covered in blankets and a pen with a heater between their legs, and they can check runners off as they come and go. If it gets too busy and you don't have enough people to keep up with that task, then abandon this task and take care of the runner. That's the most important part. You can even tell the runner, hey, go check yourself off on the roster or whatever, make them responsible. But that's the most important thing, is to take care of the runner, make sure that they're getting what they need, that they're not sticking their hands in the M&Ms, and that they're getting in and out and not dying at your aid station. But if you need to abandon this job, you can abandon it. But if you can dedicate a person to it, please do. That way we can keep track of how many people are on the course. The aid station captains are in a WhatsApp group, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They'll be sharing. I'm not in that group. They will be sharing who's dropped in that WhatsApp group. So if somebody drops out and they DNF, put a line through their name. That way you don't think they're still out on the course and you're like, well, number 224 hasn't checked in yet. Well, it's because they dropped out 3 hours ago. So cross them out when they DNF. You also have a schedule here of who's supposed to be relieving you and who's working the aid station and shifts and stuff like that. Allison printed those off this year. That's awesome. You got a chart of all the aid stations and the food and the mileage and all that goodie. It's the same chart. If you've done this before, you've seen it every year. There's a chart for the 150 mile and a chart for the 50K. 2 separate charts. Then you have some instructions on how to be a good volunteer. If you get bored, you can read those, or better yet, read them tonight before you go to bed. Okay, again, I got interrupted there. Check your bins and coolers. If you think you're out of something, double check your bin. Make sure you've gone through the bin. Sometimes stuff gets separated. I'll put a bunch of stuff on the bottom, then stuff on top, and then more of it on the top. You think you're out, but it could be down the bottom of the bin. You don't know that yet.
And have somebody else check through all the bins. Not just because you've looked through them.
Mhm.
Have another pair of eyes look through them.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you might be tired and
Yeah.
maybe not clear-headed? Is that what you're saying, Ian?
No, I'm tap blind.
Yeah, but make sure and if it's a minor thing, like I don't know, for example, Swedish fish that you're out of, the runners can continue on without that.
Sorry.
If it's a major item like I don't know, tortillas or peanut butter or whatever you're serving that's a real food item, then and you're 100% sure you're running low, give the aid station whoever you're what's the word I'm looking for?
Captain?
Give the captain a heads up. They can reach out, and one of our lovely board members picks them up at the store. Last year, I don't think we had to go to the store for anything, which was a first. So this year, I bought even more than we did last year. But you never know. Sometimes people go nuts and
Yeah.
they plow through one particular food item.
Taste change from year to year.
Right, exactly. So keep an eye on things. If you see you're running low, give the captains a warning so they can go get more. Almost done here. Runners will come in waves. They'll come in like big waves. They'll come in like 4 or 5, 10 at a time, and then there'll be a half-hour gap where there's nobody. Use that downtime to your advantage and get stuff ready. Get your stuff, your sandwiches and all that junk replenished. Get everything ready for the next wave to come through. Cook up some quesadillas or cook up some, grilled cheese or heat some soup up or whatever, and have it all ready to go for when they come in. So that way it's a lot smoother and all that. Lanterns and stoves. Everybody should have a lantern and at least one stove that is doing hot food. The exception, I think, is Candy. I don't believe Candy has got a stove or any hot water or anything like that. But we've got freestanding burners with the hot pot for hot water. So that way that frees up your stove for 2 different kinds of soup or grilled cheese or whatever. If you're missing anything, if you're missing a propane tank or you're missing anything to connect anything, let us know as soon as possible. Maybe take a look at it during the day before it gets dark and cold, and then it's too late. What else I was going to say? If you don't know how to hook up your stove or don't know how to light a lantern, do it during the day. Practice with it. Make sure you can figure out how to do it, because if you wait till it's dark, that is a lot more difficult. Not everybody, knows how to light a lantern, an old school mantle lamp or whatever. So make sure you understand how to work everything. Get a headlamp if you're going to be working an overnight shift. They're really, really handy. Runners crews. We'll have runners crews. They're not supposed to be at Jacobs aid station. The crews will still try to come there and park on the road. There's no reason they can't drive on the road, and as long as they follow the rules of the road and they're not being stupid and they're being good drivers, it doesn't matter. It's fine. But they're not going to park at the aid station. They've been told that. They've had it beaten into their heads. No crew at Jacobs. All right. Again, if they want to meet the runner somewhere on the road, it's fine as long as the runner doesn't get in the car or whatever. Nobody takes anything from a moving car because that's illegal. So McBee parking and Candy and here are the only places that crew is supposed to be at. So obviously no crew out of Chandler. That'd be funny. No crew at Orchard. Has any crew ever shown up out there? Nope. Okay, good. And again, no crew at Jacobs. If crew is standing around and you're busy and they're waiting around the runner and they're just standing there, put them to work. Say, hey, get over here and help me. Put some gloves on. start making sandwiches, start helping me out because we got 30 runners coming through and they're just standing there, waiting for their runner or whatever. Put them to work because their runner is always moving slower than they think they will be. When you get another person to show up to relieve you on your shift, debrief them. Don't just go, peace out, hop in your car, and take off. Give them a rundown on this item's been, we're running low on this, or this item's been really popular, or, something. Give them the skinny on what they need to know so they can have a successful shift also. The chart that I showed earlier has got cutoff times on it. And we're sticking to the cutoff times this year more than we have in the past. So as we get closer to, I'm not on the right clipboard. Anyway, there's cutoff times on there, and certain aid stations have cutoff times. If you've got runners coming in and they're going to go over the cutoff time, talk to the aid station captain, talk to whoever, a board member, something like that. If the runner looks like he's moving really, really well and he's got a second, third win and he's eating and he's drinking and he's in good spirits and he looks like he's been running, or she, excuse me, then throw a sandwich at him and say, get the hell out of here and keep going. Otherwise, I'm going to cut you and kick them out. I've had that happen to me, and I hauled ass for the finish because I knew that the sweeper was chasing me. Yeah, where's our sweeper at? Put your hand up, Gretchen. That's the Grim sweep. She's starting at Chandler and running the course backwards and pulling flags and ribbons, and she'll be dropping flags and ribbons at your aid station because there's no possible way a human being can carry all the flags and ribbons that are on this course. So she'll drop those when she comes through. If you're working a later shift and you're in the final throes of the race, don't shut down until Gretchen comes through because she'll be escorting the slowest person through. And she'll have probably the best idea on whether or not that person needs to be cut. If they're dragging ass and they're injured and they're throwing up and they're coming in right on the wire, they're done. There's no way they're going to push through. And then we're going to stand here waiting for them until 6 o'clock at night on Saturday or whatever. So use some good judgment. Be fair, but be stern. Speaking of being fair and stern, this is the tough love speech. So this part is very important. Get to know runners really, really well. If you don't already, you can tell when you see a runner when they come in. They've got that look, even if they look like hell and they're limping and they're barfing or whatever. If they want to keep going and they are still strong-willed, don't talk about dropping. Mm-hmm. Just say, hey, have some sandwich, have some soup. What kind of soup do you want? You want some coffee? And here's some sugar. And get the hell out of here. Don't let them sit down with a blanket, especially in the middle of the night, because they'll lock up, they'll get cold, and they'll want another blanket. And the next thing you know, they're asleep and they're out. So get them in, get them out, make sure they've got calories in them. And you can tell when someone's going to come in. When they come in and they're just like, and they look like a wet rag doll, and they're done, and they're getting close to the cutoffs or whatever. You can tell when they're done. You can tell when they're not. But try and talk them out of dropping. I've seen 100 times. I've seen runners come back from the dead. I'll be here all night at the 50-mile turnaround, and I've seen people come in and say, "I'm done," and then 20 minutes later, they were going back up the mountain, and they finished. So I've seen that happen before too. You got to talk to them. You got to get right in their grill and say, what do you need? Let's not talk about dropping. Let's talk about get your feet cleaned up. Change your socks. Get on a warm jacket. Here's some soup. Shut up and get the hell back out of here. You don't want to drop here. The music sucks. Something like that. I don't know. But don't listen to the I'm not hungry or nothing sounds good or whatever. Keep pushing calories on them, okay? Don't let them throw up on you either. The overnight shifts. One thing that helps in every 100-miler is just get to sunrise. Keep telling them sunrise is only an hour away. You can keep moving for an hour. Once that sun comes up, your batteries will be recharged, and you will. Seriously, I've run the last 10 miles of a 100-miler faster than the first 10 because the sun came up and oh my God, I feel great. If you could just get through the night. Anybody that's here, we got a lot of veterans here that have run hundreds. They've seen it and they've felt it before. It's a battery recharger. Just get to sunrise. You only got 2 hours to sunrise. Have some soup. Quit crying. Don't throw up on me. Get out of here. Keep walking. Just keep walking. Okay, try and keep it upbeat. Keep it happy. It'll keep you warm. It'll keep you motivated. keep hopping around, keep some music playing. Our volunteers are the best. And
What are you laughing about?
you're an example. Yesterday, they went out to eat in a restaurant, and her and Todd did, and there was a couple in front of them, and they could tell they were runners. You know, they have that look.
And the ultras, you know,
Yeah,
like,
shoes.
and the gooders.
They smell
you know.
bad. They're throwing up. So they were talking. I just got in a conversation with them, and this couple had run the 100 last year or whatever, and they came back, and she put it perfectly. And I've said this every year that I've been director, that nobody comes back here for this course. They don't come back here for this course. It's got its own beauty. It's got its own challenges, but it is not that special in the realm of 100 milers. People keep coming back here year after year after year because of you people, because of the volunteers. I've been to races. We're in gorgeous country, beautiful country, woods and trees and rainbows and shit. And the volunteers suck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going back.
No.
Screw that.
I'm DNF'd because of that. Just
Yeah, you
the
did.
vibe
Dropped
wasn't
out.
there, and it's like, okay,
It's
well,
like, yeah, I don't want to be here. This sucks.
Yeah.
People come back here, and the couple that they ran into said, we hate the course, but we came back for the people. And that nails it right there. That nails it, right? And that's because of you people, okay? You are what makes this great. And by the way, this is the biggest year we've ever had. Because of you. We're at almost 800 runners. All right? First year I did it, there was 26 in the 100 miler. Now we've got 120 something and 140 or 50 in the 50 miler. So we got 280 runners starting tomorrow morning right here versus 12 years ago when we had 26. So, and it ain't because of this course, believe me. It's cool and it's got challenges and it's a fun course. It's broken in these neat sections.
changes every year.
It's not special. You people are what makes it special, and that's why they come back. Okay. Last thing, make sure you got all your gear. In the past, we've had volunteers load up and haul ass, and they left like stoves, tables, chairs, water. We had somebody take off without their water one year. You all have a sign too that sticks in the ground. Make sure you've got that sign. Make sure it's pointed the right direction because it's meant to go one way. Exactly. So make sure your sign is facing the right direction. Plant it in the ground really firmly. Some runners like to read, some like to talk, whatever. Make sure you got all your stuff. Check out with one of the volunteers here that's in charge, namely Todd. You can find him.
How's
He
my
should
kid
know.
somewhere?
What's that?
He's got my kids somewhere.
Oh, he's right.
Our
Okay,
kids,
okay,
yeah.
leave Todd alone. But make sure you got all your gear before you take off. Anybody got any questions? Whew. No? What? Anybody got any questions? Driving directions to Orchard Aid Station. Can a car with low clearance make it up there? You made it up to Orchard? Okay. Yes, you can get up there in a low clearance car because it's not rainy or muddy. I've got directions on how to get there, but I don't.
sent them out to all of the.
did?
I sent the clickable link. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Every assignment, their aid station, you click on it and it takes them to
Okay.
the link.
There should be an email with a link in it on how to drive there. Is Chandler Aid Station only accessible by four-wheel drive high clearance? Yes, I'd say yeah. Where's Chandler at?
Mike,
Where's Mike?
Michael, fuzzy face.
Yes, it's only accessible by four-wheel drive, by high clearance vehicle because it's bumpy and rocky and pretty steep. You can park in the road and walk. It's only 3.5 miles.
I was told that you could get up there with it. I asked Todd.
Did you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a big suit up for driving.
Yeah.
Well, no, but something
Something with a little bit, because you're gonna hit a rock and
right.
Yeah, you need
So
clearance.
something with clearance, but no, it doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't have to be four-wheel drive, but it does need some clearance because there's rocks. I just don't want anybody to damage their car and they get mad
I
at
know.
me. Piss off a volunteer. I know it's getting windy. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There it is.
Can a Subaru Forester make it to Chandler? Yes, but only if you drive really, really fast.
Stop it.
Kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Yes, you got the driving directions in the email.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. If anybody else got any questions, please hurry up and type them. Okay. Is that it? Oh, shirts.
Shirts will be here tomorrow.
Shirts will be here tomorrow.
What year do
Searchable.
they say on them?
Huh?
What year do they say on them?
Nothing. We don't put years on them.
Well, the ones we got last year said 2015.
Oh, did they?
What were we clapping for? Me? Oh, for Allison. Yay!
Thanks.
We'll get you some directions, Christy. Okay. Anybody got any questions?
You got taters.
Somebody came up and said, these.
What?
Here, I'll take them so you can leave. Just sit there. There you go.
Got Orchard. Come on over.
Yeah.
Orchard.
Find your aid station captain and get to know them very well.
Good. People ask me questions here pretty soon. So is Ron still wanting to
Then you can wear
volunteer
what?
too?
I think so.
Okay.
I didn't know you did.
My schedule.
Did you email me? I emailed
Oh,
you and Facebook.
you're fine. You didn't miss much. You've done this before. and- yeah.
I think we're done.
Right. I know. You never
Make
shut
sure we're
up.
done.
So here's my schedule. It's
I got my
Wednesday,
list of the cat.
So,
Look at it.
what are you wanting
might.
to work?
I don't remember
I know Ron wants.
because there's like 17 this year.
Okay, well, I mean, Mick will always use people.
Well,
Always.
You're supposed to have your packet. Julie did. But
We're gonna
yes,
use-
I saw a pile of them on the kitchen.
See the-
Are you short anywhere that you think, God, if only someone would help?
Thank
I'll
you.
go there.
Doing with these cones right
We should put this on like post-it board or something.
Cones are what cones?
I
Big
have it
ones?
on my phone. Just don't want
I
to look
wouldn't
at
want
it.
to read it on the
here.
Right.
Just tell Morty.
If you
So
want to
let's
somewhere else to receive.
see. No, I'm good. I feel like if I move, it's gonna rip out of my hands and go. But
Sure.
okay. One second. I'm gonna holler at Jose and ask him something. Jose,